America first, American first. Anyway, this statement from the Donald Trump while he was electioneering, while he was making a kind of election campaign, America first, American first, and people were also chanting in the synchronization with Donald Trump, America first, American first. Anyway, we had expected that this election would change the world. In the past American election, that did not change the world in 1 or 2 months, but this election certainly it changed the world in 1 or 2 months only. January 20th, Mr. Donald Trump has taken oath, and this is May 9th. May 9th, world is changed. Now India and Pakistan, they are in war kind of situation. Anyway, okay, what is the news that is surfacing now? The India trade with United States. United States right now, it has placed India into 10% basic tariff. 10% basic tariff has been imposed on all the countries except semiconductor products. And China, for China, it is 145%, and on some products, it is 245% also. 145%. Otherwise, 10% tariff on all the countries around the world. 25% tariff on the steel and aluminum and auto parts. India is a country which major money comes from the United States as far as services export is concerned, not the goods export. India is the most populous country in the world, and Indian Prime Minister enjoys that American companies would invest in India, and Indian cheap labor would work in those American companies, and that will be considered as services tax, services export, goods and services export. In that sense, India is mind blowing in the services export, not in the goods export. India does not manufacture any finished product that it can sell into America. As far as aluminum, steel, and auto part is concerned, where 25% tariff is there, then Indian companies like Tata Motors and they support British company like Jaguar Land Rover, or American company like Ford and other companies. They supply auto parts. They use these auto parts in their vehicle. Okay, that is India trade right now. But anyway, when India, this is one part. Another part is United States had decided that 26% tariff will be imposed on India once the retaliatory taxes will be imposed on all the countries. 5th of the April was the day, or 9th of the April rather, was the day when reciprocal tariff has had to be imposed on all the countries. But due to hue and cry and due to big noise, Donald Trump he extended this date to 90 more days. Means first week of July, people can expect reciprocal tariff on all the countries. Now it is 26% on India. Anyway, that 26% will be in addition to 10% that is right now, or it will be just 26%. This 10% will go away. If it is in addition to 10%, then it will be 36% anyway. India, more or less on average, it charges 56% of the tariff on the American products that enter into India. 56%. Because of that, only America announced 26 to 27% on Indian products. Okay, in that way, if it will be 36% on India after 26% from the July first week, then more or less it will be 26 plus 10, 36. Means around 13% tariff gap is there between India and United States. India has declared the tariff gap between India and United States, instead of 13%, it will be 3%. Indian delegates, Indian delegates, delegation is now ready to go to United States and talk with their Ministry of Commerce, or or Mr. Donald Trump, whatever it is. Mr. I believe Ministry. Okay, I forgot the name. Who is the Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce out there? Okay, I believe Mr. Okay, I really forgot the name. Okay, Howard, Mr. Howard Lut, something like that. Okay, he is the secretary for the commerce. Anyway, Indian delegation, Indian delegation is now ready to go to United States and talk their counterpart that India is in move to make the tariff gap between India and America at 3% only. Earlier, the tariff gap was more than 50%. Means, or United States was charging around 3% on Indian products, where India was on average it was charging 56%. Now India is committed to reduce the tariff gap, and now India will put tariff gap as 3% only. Now in that sense, Indian delegation is ready to go to United States. Okay, now, what can be considered with this kind of statement? When we are making a statement, when it is written in the news now, it is coming in news that India is ready to reduce the tariff gap between United States at 3% only. Is it India really serious about trade with United States? That is a big question surfacing now. India is really serious with the trade with United States. India is earning more or less through services export. United States company, Indian laborers, they work in India, either it is software company or whatever, and that is considered as the export to United States. Now, in that fashion, how much this tariff, 3% tariff on gap that India is declaring with United States, that 3% tariff gap will be helpful for India when India do not export goods to United States, more or less. Neither Indian cars are very famous in America, nor Indian mobiles. India is a India is a assembly hub, assembling the mobile, Chinese mobile. India, there is no Indian company which manufacture mobile or mobile chips or semiconductor, anything, nothing. Indian products. Bangladesh fabrics and cloth, they are famous in America. But India, nothing is famous. Only spices and rice and wheat. That is also in the Indian store only. More or less, India provide services export to America. Then why Indian ministers and Indian delegation is so much interested in making a tariff gap between India and United States at 3% only, from the 13% that is expected now after 36% tax when Donald Trump would impose on India. Okay, anyway, we will talk about it. Right now, the war condition between India and Pakistan, that is prevailing now. India and Pakistan, they have locked their horn in war kind of situation. Pakistan is detonating its missile on India, and India is protecting itself. Whatever India could do, it did. 9 places, it destroyed the militant camp out there, it destroyed. Now Pakistan is in mood to attack on India, and India has made a strict warning on Pakistan. If military enters into India, then India will give befitting reply reply to Pakistan. Anyway, that is the scenario. What's going on now? Earlier, when Soviet Union was there, then India was completely on the mercy of Soviet Union. Whatever India fought with either China or Pakistan in 1965, 1971, okay, this kind of war, Soviet Union came in front and it settled down the war, either with China or whatsoever. Now there is no Soviet Union, Russia is there. That is the counterpart of Soviet or representative of Soviet Union. Now after 1991 disintegration of Soviet Union, then India put a kind of a globalization, the market global, globalization or liberalization in the Indian economy. And India started making tie with United States. 2000 war, 1990 war, 1999 or 2000 war, Kargil war with Pakistan, 2008 war, and Pulwama war that happened in, I believe, 2020. All these war, America settled India and Pakistan war. So Pulwama war or 2008, I don't remember which war it was, and 2000 or 1999, that was Kargil war. United States settled the war between India and Pakistan. Now, India is looking at United States again. The biggest problem for the India is very, very powerful than Pakistan. That is for 100% sure. India would be more than 100 times powerful than Pakistan as far as war is concerned. But China is completely backing Pakistan. Means on 27th of the April last week, China declared openly that it will support Pakistan. Russia is supporting China because Russia has its own compulsion as far as the war with Ukraine is concerned. It is completely on the mercy of support from the China and North Korea. In that sense, Russia is keeping quiet. Now again, India is looking at United States again as far as war is going on between India and Pakistan for the support. Donald Trump is not the same Donald Trump he was. I'm sorry, I said 2000, 2008 and 2020. The settlement for the Pulwama for the Pulwama attack was in 2019. Okay, I believe Mark Pompeo, he was the Secretary of the State. Right now, Secretary of the State is 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 Rubio, Mr. Rubio. I believe I forgot the name again. Okay, so Mr. Rubio is the head of the Secretary of the State. At that time, Mr. Pompeo, he was the Secretary of the State in 2019. And Mr. Pompeo, he settled the war between India and Pakistan in 2019 that it would have arrived because of Pulwama attack. Now, the Rubio, Mr. Rubio, he is the Secretary of the Mr. Rubio, who is the Secretary of State now, and Donald Trump, they are not the same that they were earlier. Earlier means in 45th President of United States, Donald Trump and Mr. Pompeo, they were very active. And right now, Donald Trump and Mr. Rubio, they are completely indifferent now. Donald Trump has said that India and Pakistan, they are in war kind of situation, but they have to settle down on their own. This is what he has said. Now, Mr. Rubio, okay, Mr. Rubio, he has talked to his counterpart with Pakistan and India, and then he kept silent. Mr. Rubio kept silent. Donald Trump is silent. They do not have any interest in the war that is going on between India and Pakistan. One time, Donald Trump has said that he can mediate between India and Pakistan. This is what he can do. But more or less, he is silent only. Now, in that case, now question is arising that who will help India? Now, in that sense, India is talking about tariff gap, so that its delegation will go to the United States in the name of tariff gap, and then they will talk about the India-Pakistan war. I believe whatever the motto the Indian delegation are taking, keeping in their mind and going to the United States for the tariff gap discussion, the actual discussion is going to happen to mediate between India and